Chapter 10: Explosion of Life. If the family did not have funds, they couldn't even think of becoming a level 1 planet master. Unlike Sebastian, others who created planets needed at least a professional planet management team. They were responsible for the maintenance of the planet's ecosystem and the future deduction. If one of them did not pay attention, the ecology of the planet was very likely to collapse. Not to mention, creating an extraordinary civilization needed all sorts of expensive resources. These required a large amount of money. Fortunately, Sebastian had a deduction system. There was no need for a management team. Terra was also a natural ecosystem. There was no need for Sebastian to take care of it. All he needed to do was follow the order and evolve normally. Sebastian saw it. There were a few different messages. They wanted Sebastian to endorse their company's products. The endorsement fee was also relatively high, but very quickly the other party sent a new message. They cancelled the endorsement deal. The reason? Sebastian did not need to think to know. They probably understood the fact that the energy he converted was just ordinary. Capitalism is real. Sebastian sighed. Ordinary energy planet, people wouldn't even bother to look. In this world, there were natural planets made of ordinary energy, but none of them got up. In the end, the ecosystem collapsed and they turned into a dead star, or they would be crushed into pieces by all sorts of supernatural planets. A normal person to fight against magicians, practitioners, and other extraordinaires, wasn't that funny? However, Sebastian wanted to prove it ordinary planets could still develop a powerful civilization. After cooking himself a simple but nutritious meal, Sebastian did not rest. Instead, he continued the evolution of the planet without stopping. He entered the awakening space, and a blue planet was slowly moving. Sebastian observed a few times, and after confirming that there were no abnormalities, he began to use his origin energy. A new round of acceleration, but this time, Sebastian did not plan to use a ratio of 1 to 1 trillion. The faster he accelerated, the more origin energy consumed. This was all the original energy Sebastian currently had. He had to save some. After setting a new acceleration rate, Sebastian was calm and collected. He looked like a spectator, observing the evolution of this planet. On Terra, time passed quickly. The ecology of the entire planet was also undergoing drastic changes. The blue algae played a crucial role. This was the first oxygen-producing creature on the planet. The cyanobacteria used solar energy to synthesize water and carbon dioxide into organic nutrients, and at the same time released oxygen as exhaust gas. Oxygen was produced by the blue algae. The lack of oxygen on the planet had changed entirely. The birth of a higher life form provided a good environment. The era of monocytes had passed. Multicellular life began to develop. According to the history of Earth in his previous life, this place should be the end of the primordial universe. It was about to start the tide of modern life. Earth from his previous life was 6 billion years old. It could be divided into 4 eras: Ancient, Archean, Proterozoic, and Phanerozoic. Ancient era, 8 billion years ago, it was a desolate place without any life. Archean era, 5 billion years ago, a single-celled life was born. Proterozoic era, 600 million years ago, multi-celled life was born. Phanerozoic era, 6 million years ago, advanced plants and animals began to appear. Creatures gradually evolved into more advanced animals. Animals already had a shell and a clear skeleton structure, so they were called the Phanerozoic. This was the division of Earth. On Terra, Sebastian was too lazy to think about other names. The 4 names were the same to divide the history of Blue Star. At this moment, it happened to be the end of the era. It was about to open the tide of advanced life. The beginning of the universe, Cambrian, the first life force burst forth. Because the lower life forms could not adapt to the new planet's environment, a new higher life form appeared. For example, arthropods, brachiopods, vermicular animals, sponges, chordates, and other animals were the same as modern animals. It was represented by the trilobite. It laid the foundation for the evolution of life in the Phanerozoic. Compared to when the planet had just awakened, there was a huge increase in life points. Even though it had not evolved to the level of modern life, the number of species sufficed. At the same time, the size of the planet also kept increasing.